Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Version of Yellowstone is just weeks away and looks perfect if you're missing Taylor Sheridan's franchise. Netflix's Ransom Canyon show looks a lot like Taylor Sheridan's neo-western Yellowstone, and it could be a good watch for fans of the series who need more cowboy action in the upcoming weeks while waiting for the screenwriter's next offshoot. Ransom Canyon comes from Wednesday creator April Blair and explores themes of love, family, and legacy. Netflix will release the new series on April 17, coming after the 2-hour 1923 Season 2 finale, which will conclude the Dutton family's Prohibition-era war on April 6. Ransom Canyon is based on New York Times best-selling author Jodi Thomas' series of the same name, advertised as a family saga western romance via jodithomas.com. It's evident from the trailer that the series starring Friday Night Lights' Minka Kelly and Transformers' Josh Duhamel will stay true to the book's themes, with similarities to its contemporaries that are probably not coincidental. Sheridan's Dutton TV shows have experienced outstanding viewership despite Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2's divisive reception, and others are keen to replicate its success. Watching the Ransom Canyon trailer, it's obvious that the new series is Netflix's answer to Yellowstone. The show will follow Staten Kirkland, the protagonist of Thomas' original story. In the synopsis for Ransom Canyon, Thomas calls Kirkland the last descendant of Ransom Canyon's founding father. Therefore, Netflix's new series tells the tale of a family's ranching legacy in its last generation. The Ransom Canyon characters are akin to Kevin Costner's John Dutton's family, who fight to maintain their hold on the family's land legacy until the Yellowstone Season 5 finale. Minka Kelly plays Quinn O'Grady, set up as a potential love interest to Josh Duhamel's Kirkland by the trailer. Yet, while the ranch setting and cowboy themes look and sound a lot like Yellowstone, the show's preview focuses primarily on its love stories, of which there are at least 3. While love was a vital element of life for those living on the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, romance wasn't the main draw of Sheridan's show, which incorporates more elements of a traditional Western, comprising action and political drama to offset the romance. Regardless of the finer details that separate the series, Yellowstone's influence is evident in shows like Ransom Canyon that are keen to reproduce the modern Western success. Sheridan's scripted series are known for revitalizing the genre with fresh neo-Western stories, which are subversive and give viewers a different picture of life in the American West. While Ransom Canyon may initially appear to be a carbon copy of Yellowstone, its release will determine whether it could actually be considered a match to Sheridan's work, adding something new to the TV genre. Sheridan has continued his legacy with Landman, and Netflix's show also incorporates the Texas saga's influence. Seen in the trailer, Ransom Canyon blends ranch life in Montana with the Texas sun and Friday night football games that distinguish Landman. That said, the Ransom Canyon story will need to be as innovative and provocative as Sheridan's to truly compete. Still, Thomas' Ransom Canyon book was published in 2015, 3 years before Yellowstone's 2018 debut. Viewers can trust that Netflix's show will offer a story inspired wholly outside of Sheridan's work. For fans of Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone universe, where the land is raw, the drama is rich, and the cowboys are brooding, the countdown to the end of Yellowstone proper has been bittersweet. With the flagship series riding into its final chapter, Sheridan loyalists are bracing themselves for withdrawal. No more Rip gazing into the Montana horizon, no more Beth with her bourbon-soaked one-liners, no more Dutton legacy hanging in the balance with each thunderclap. But hold onto your Stetsons, there's a new sheriff in town, and it's arriving in just a few short weeks. A fresh frontier drama, hewn from the same rugged timber as Yellowstone, is saddling up, and early looks suggest it's the kind of high-stakes, high-drama storytelling that Yellowstone fans will devour. While this series isn't written by Taylor Sheridan himself, It carries the same DNA: family dynasties, morally gray land wars, gorgeous wide-angle shots of unforgiving terrain, and the eternal question: what are you willing to do to protect your legacy? Enter American Front. Set in the wide-open plains of Wyoming in the 1980s, American Front promises to fill the Yellowstone-shaped hole in your heart. It's not just a Western, it's a legacy war. The series follows the Maddox family, cattle ranchers with roots that run deeper than the cottonwoods on their property. When corporate developers backed by foreign interests come sniffing around with promises of oil wealth and prosperity, the family is faced with a choice: sell out or fight back. Spoiler alert, they fight back. But this isn't just another good guys versus bad guys standoff. Much like Sheridan's World, the lines between right and wrong blur under the prairie sun. The patriarch, Jack Maddox, is a weathered Vietnam vet who runs his ranch like a battlefield. His daughter, June, is a wildfire of a woman torn between loyalty to her land and the promise of a different life. And his youngest son, Caleb, returns from college with radical ideas about sustainability and secrets that could rip the family apart. Add in a rival ranching clan, a morally bankrupt sheriff, and a pipeline deal drenched in blood money, and you've got all the ingredients for your next Western obsession. A spiritual cousin to Yellowstone. Let's be clear, American Front isn't trying to be Yellowstone, but it doesn't have to. What makes this series exciting is how it taps into the very spirit that made Yellowstone a phenomenon. Not the horses and hats, but the raw emotional stakes, the messy family ties, and the sense that the land itself is a character. If you've ever screamed at the TV during a Dutton boardroom betrayal or held your breath during a quiet barn conversation between Rip and Beth, American Front is ready to deliver that same emotional punch. The showrunner, Lane Morgan, is no stranger to high-drama family sagas. A veteran of Friday Night Lights and Ozark, Morgan brings a slow-burn storytelling style, character-driven, gritty, and soaked in atmosphere. Early trailers to show sweeping shots of golden fields, rustic barns silhouetted against lightning-streaked skies, and a soundtrack that straddles classic country and moody Americana. Cast full of fresh faces and familiar grit. While Yellowstone leaned into Hollywood heavyweights like Kevin Costner, American Front bets on a mixture of rising stars and seasoned character actors. James Badge Dale takes the lead as Jack Maddox, a role that feels carved out of stone, part stoic cowboy, part haunted war hero. Dale's intense, weary presence is magnetic, a perfect anchor for the show's stormy undercurrent. Opposite him is Willa Fitzgerald, Reacher Scream, the TV series, as June, the daughter who can't decide whether to burn everything down or fight to preserve it. Her portrayal is already being called Beth Dutton with a conscience, and it's clear she'll be one to watch. Add in character actors like Shea Whigham as a crooked land commissioner and Michael Grays as a neighboring tribal leader caught between ancestral land claims and modern-day pragmatism, and you've got a cast with the chops to carry big, messy, meaningful stories. Like Yellowstone, American Front isn't just about cowboys. It's about power, who has it, who's losing it, and what they'll do to keep it. There's a deep exploration of legacy, not just what you leave behind, but what you sacrifice to hold on to something that may already be gone. Expect explosive family dinners, shady deals behind barn doors, and conflicts that unfold not with gunfights, but with whispered threats and backroom betrayals. And yes, there will be action, horseback chases, bar brawls, and at least one cattle stampede by episode 3, according to rumor. But at its heart, American Front is a story about identity, personal, familial, and national. It asks tough questions about the American dream, the commodification of land, and how history, especially blood-soaked history, never stays buried for long.